What do you think is more important for success, discipline or motivation? I was asked this recently, and at first I hesitated, not because I didn't know the answer, but because I knew it wasn't as simple as choosing one over the other. It's a powerful question, and the answer matters, not just in business or personal growth, but in how we live our lives every single day. You see, our culture loves to think in binaries, either this or that, win or lose, success or failure, black or white. And so it's easy to treat discipline and motivation as opposing forces. One must be better than the other, right? But here's the truth, you can have both. And not only can you have both, but you should have both. Think about the way people talk about life. I could have a good family life if I didn't choose to focus on my career. Or, I don't want to be rich because I'm afraid I'll become greedy. Or, I don't want to be successful because I might become prideful. Or one of my favorites, I don't want to try because I might fail. These are false choices. You can have a thriving family life and a powerful career. You can be wealthy and generous. You can be successful and humble. Life isn't about choosing sides, it's about creating balance. And that same principle applies to discipline and motivation. You don't need to pick a wing, you need both to fly. But if I had to choose just one, if you forced me to pick, I'd choose discipline. Why? Because discipline is the engine. Discipline is the foundation. Discipline is what shows up when motivation is gone. Motivation is great, but it's fleeting. It's like hunger. You feed it, then you satisfy it. A few hours later, it fades. That's why motivation alone can't carry you. As the great Zig Ziglar once said, people often say motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing, but that's why I recommend it daily. Motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you going. It's the system, the structure, the quiet force behind the scenes that makes success inevitable. In fact, I believe motivation is not the cause of action, it's the byproduct of action. It shows up once you've already started moving. Think about it. When do you feel most motivated? When you're on the couch thinking about going to the gym, or when you're mid-workout and the sweat is still fresh on your skin? Motivation follows discipline. You don't wait to feel inspired to act. You act, then you feel inspired. Jim Rohn once said, "Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment." That's the truth. Discipline is what gets you from where you are to where you want to be. And here's the thing, it's not easy. It takes strength, it takes commitment, it takes courage. It takes a mind made of stone and a spirit that refuses to quit. But here's what I've learned. The more you live a disciplined life, the more motivated you become to keep going. Discipline is not the enemy of joy. It's the fuel for it. You want to feel alive? Start keeping your promises to yourself. You want motivation? Show up even when you don't feel like it. Do the hard thing and do it again and again and again. That's where momentum lives. That's where character is forged. And here's a truth that resonates with my soul. If you're religious, it's important to know that God honors obedience. I line discipline up with obedience, and obedience unlocks divine power. Obedience allows you to become who you are meant to be by unlocking your true potential. So how do we cultivate this? You have to focus on two things. Number one, personal growth, and number two, contribution. When you're committed to growing, reading, learning, pushing yourself, you become naturally more motivated. And when you're committed to giving, serving, mentoring, investing in others, your soul lights up. Discipline creates the framework for both of these. It gives you the structure to grow consistently and the heart to give freely. And the beautiful thing is, once discipline becomes a habit, it becomes easier. It becomes automatic. Think back to high school physics. Inertia. An object in motion stays in motion. Once you get going, it doesn't take as much effort to keep going. That's the sweet spot. That's the upward spiral. When you live with discipline, motivation becomes a byproduct. It becomes your fuel, not your foundation. If you're slipping, if the habits that once defined you have begun to fade, go into reform mode, recenter, rebuild, get back to life, get back to the life you know you're meant to live. Because here's the truth. You don't need hype, you need habits. You don't need a spark, you need a system. You don't need more motivation, you need more discipline. And when you live that way, when you build a life on discipline, you don't just succeed, you lead. You don't just survive, you inspire. Jocko Willink, former Navy SEAL and leadership expert, said, "Discipline equals freedom." It's true. When you choose discipline, you don't lose your life, you gain control over it. So today, don't wait to feel motivated. Decide to be disciplined. Choose it, live it, and then watch as the motivation, the joy, the results, all of it begin to flow. You've got what it takes. So now's the time to build the habits that build your future. If this message lit a fire in you, hit that like button and share it with someone walking on the same path. Subscribe for more tools to help you master your mind and your habits. Remember, discipline isn't about being perfect, it's about showing up, especially when you don't feel like it. Build your discipline and you'll build the life you are meant to lead.